Okay, so if you've ever had to write a master's thesis, a PhD, or any major research paper, you know that feeling. It is a massive undertaking. But what if you had a secret weapon? An AI copilot that's been specifically trained to help you navigate every single part of that journey. That's what we're looking at today, this new breed of AI tools designed for the world of academic research.
Right, this is it, the final boss of your academic career. It's the culmination of years of hard work, all boiling down to this one single monumental piece of writing. And let's be honest, it can be an incredibly lonely and chaotic process.
And this is what that final boss, that mountain, looks like up close. You're talking about hundreds of sources to read, thousands upon thousands of words to write, all while you've got this one single deadline just looming over your head. And of course, there's the classic writer's block. And don't even get me started on the absolute chaos that is the literature review. It's a struggle every single researcher knows all too well. So we all know AI is pretty good at writing a simple email, or maybe summarizing an article. But can it really truly handle the serious, rigorous work of academia? Because if you just throw a generic question at it, you're going to get junk, hallucinations, made-up sources, and writing that just doesn't cut it. So the real question is, could a specialized approach to AI be the actual game changer here? So before we get into the solution, let's just make sure we're all on the same page about how big this problem really is. We're not just talking about writing a lot, we're talking about a very specific, very demanding process. You've probably felt this yourself. You ask ChatGPT or another AI for help with your research, and what you get back is, well, it's generic. Sometimes it's just flat out wrong. It completely misses the academic nuance, it doesn't understand the complex methods, and it has no idea how to cite things properly. For any serious research, that stuff is completely unusable.
And that brings us to this new idea, a system that's designed to take that wild, unpredictable AI and turn it into a disciplined, focused co-pilot that works just for you and your research.
The core of this system is something called a prompt book. Now, this isn't just a handful of helpful hints. Think of it more like a massive library of expert-level commands, each one specifically engineered for a different stage of writing a thesis. But for this copilot to be any good, you can't just jump in. First, you have to give it a mission briefing. You've got to calibrate it with the exact details of your unique project.
And the workflow is designed to be ridiculously simple. First, you find and copy the expert prompt you need. Second, you paste it into whatever AI you're using, ChatGPT, Gemini, you name it. And third, you just fill in the blanks, editing these little variables to match your specific research. It's a simple process that basically turns a general AI into a specialist on your exact topic.
So this calibration, it's kind of like giving the AI its marching orders. You tell it your exact thesis topic, your field, whether it's psychology or engineering, your research paradigm, like quantitative or qualitative. You even tell it the exact citation style you need, like APA 7. You're giving the AI its precise mission briefing before it does anything else. All right, so once your AI copilot is all calibrated and ready to go, it can guide you through that entire research journey, which for most of us in academia follows a pretty standard path. This prompt book is built around that classic 5-chapter thesis structure. It has specific, expert prompts for everything: your introduction, that monster literature review, your methodology, your results, and finally, the discussion. It literally maps out the entire journey for you from beginning to end. So let's look at a real-world example of how this helps. The literature review. You know the old way, it's a total nightmare of endlessly tweaking keywords, guessing at the right Boolean operators, and just praying you don't miss some crucial paper. Well, the AI Copilot way is totally different. Use a specific prompt, and it generates a rigorous, reproducible search strategy for you, one you can actually write about in your methodology chapter. And the real power here is in how precise it is. You're not just vaguely asking the AI to find some papers. You are instructing it, like a highly trained research assistant, to conduct a complete, systematic literature review and to follow established academic standards like the PRISMA framework. In terms of rigor and just pure efficiency, this is a massive leap forward. But as these tools get more and more powerful, they start to raise some really deep questions.
And that brings us to the most fascinating and maybe the most controversial part of this whole system, what I'd call the ghost in the machine.
And this is the elephant in the room, isn't it? When an AI can draft, structure, and refine your work with this kind of sophistication, where do you draw the line? At what point does the AI co-pilot become the pilot? This is a huge ethical question for all of academia. Now, the source material actually leans right into this with a special set of what it calls ultra bonus prompts. And one of them is explicitly titled, Humanizing AI-Generated Text to Avoid Plagiarism and Reduce AI Detection Risk. Its stated goal is to take AI writing and make it sound more natural, more, human. So what does humanizing even mean here? Well, you know how standard AI output can be really robotic with predictable sentences? It's pretty easy for detection software to spot. This special prompt reworks that text. It adds varied sentence structures, it injects discipline-specific lingo, and it adds rhetorical flourishes to give it a much more authentic human flow. The end goal is to make it totally indistinguishable from something a person wrote. And then it goes a step further. There's an even more advanced version of this prompt. According to the source, it's specifically engineered to add even more layers of nuance with the explicit goal of being detection resistant. The fact that a tool like this even exists forces us to have a very real and very difficult conversation about academic integrity. So, where does this leave us? What does all this mean for the future of research? On one hand, we have a tool that promises to give everyone expert-level help. But on the other hand, it also provides a way to seriously blur the lines of authorship. And look, this isn't some futuristic, abstract idea. This prompt book is a real product that you can buy right now. According to the source material, it costs 890 Thai baht. That's about $25. For a graduate student staring up at that mountain of work, that's an incredibly tempting price for a tool that could be revolutionary. Which brings us right to the heart of the dilemma. You could argue this is amazing. It democratizes research, giving everyone access to expert-level assistance. But you could also argue that it just enables a new, much more sophisticated way to cheat. Or maybe the truth is simpler. A tool is just a tool, like a hammer. The ethics aren't in the hammer, they're in the hand of the person swinging it. So that's the question we're left with. Is this new generation of AI co-pilots a powerful tool for empowerment that's going to level the playing field and speed up discovery? Or is it the start of a brand new, much more complicated era of academic dishonesty? The answer to that is probably going to define academia for years to come.